Well, I never thought this would happen. I got my BMX bike back. It was stolen 5 years ago. So, running on the story, I was at X Games, Minnesota, back in, oh, Jesus. Was that 2018? Yeah. I was working at X Games, building the skate parks and getting all the courses all set up for the event that was going on. I rode on a bike from the hotel to the event, do my construction, building the skate parks, whatever. And after each night, I'd stop at a Thai restaurant on the way back from the event. I'd stop there like multiple times. There's like a mud room, so you enter a door from the street, and there's like an open area and a door to get to the restaurant. And so my thought was, you can't see from the road. I just put it in that room, and I have a bike lock at the time. And for 2 weeks or so, it was always fine. It was there when I got back. Was never had any problems at all. And then one time, ate some food, walked back out, bike's gone. And I just never thought that would happen. I don't know, I thought it was safe there. It seemed to be doing fine the last 2 weeks. Sure, a little bit ignorant of myself, having my back towards the door, not having eyesight on the bike, all this shit that I wish I would have known earlier. Sorry my language. But it happened, right? So, I filed a police report, and then I had some friends, some locals that were saying, there's a Twin Cities stolen bike Facebook group, like a chat group. So I posted the picture of the bike, how it looked like when I last had it on the Facebook group. A month, 2 months, a year, that bike's never going to come back. I'm never going to see this bike again. So 5 years go by, and a guy named Hans messaged me on Facebook. He says, "Hey David, I recently joined Twin Cities Stolen Bike group, and it turns out that one of the bikes in my BMX collection is likely an STA 500 that was stolen from you back here in 2018. I purchased the bike from a pawn shop in St. Paul, and then my intention is to take it back there to get my money back, and if you want to have police reach out and get the money back that way, go ahead." So that was not what I expected to see at all. I told him I'm currently in Colorado. We moved from LA to Colorado this time. I did not want to have the police involved with this whole situation. I was like, if you want, I'll pay $225 for that bike right now, like what he paid for the pawn shop. I'll pay the money back right now, and we'll figure out how to get the bike to me. Well, it just turns out he knows the pawn shop owner pretty well, and I believe he got his money back. If he didn't, I hope he lets me know, because, dude, I can't thank you enough for what you did. I just, the fact that you buy a bike at a pawn shop, and then you decide to check Facebook group, and then see that it's someone's stolen bike that was stolen 5 years ago, and then decide, I'm going to reach out to the person, see if they're still looking for it, or where it is. I don't know. It's just not a thought that everybody has, and I'm glad that you had this thought through it, because even though I'm not planning on riding this bike too much, this is where this bike belongs. I went through hell and back on this bike, and I'm just happy to have it. I still can't believe it's here. The next step I was wondering is, how do I get it from St. Paul to Denver, Colorado? Shipping a bike's not cheap. The one-way trip there, I think it was like 10-hour drive, 20 hours round trip, and $340 for gas probably around that area. So it costs as much as shipping it. Well, he had a buddy of his who flies a private jet, like a Cessna. It's not really that, but let's just call it that for right now. And he would fly from LA to Minnesota and stops in Colorado Springs for fuel. Colorado Springs is about an hour's drive from where I live. Unfortunately, that didn't pan out. I kind of wish that was how it got back to me. His bike takes his own private jet back to where I'm at. I was a little bit worried about picking up at the airports. I don't really. It's not a commercial airport. It's an executive airport. So he mentioned his buddy's gonna fly through in September. September comes through. I wait about a week or two, and I was like, "Hey Hans, any updates with the your buddy flying in town?" He goes, "I got nothing. If you happen to know anybody who's traveling through, I'll more likely hand it off to that person. They can bring it to Colorado Springs, Denver, Colorado." So at first thought, why would I know of anyone driving from Minnesota to Denver, Colorado? Doesn't the likelihood of that is kind of small. I know a lot of people all over the place, but it's not what I was thinking. But soon after, I realized the corn hucket was September 23rd, I think, or 24th that weekend. And I might know some people from Minnesota going to corn hucket. So I reached out to Carl Inkley, which he told me the 3 riders that were going to come. One I already knew was probably going to go. I just want to make sure he was actually going to do it. His name is Deegan Oliver, which is Tim Oliver's son. I rode with him in some shows a bunch of times. And so I reached out to Deegan on Instagram or Facebook, whatever it was. And I was like, yo, any way you could bring a bike to corn hucket for me? He said, absolutely. He got his mom involved with it. His mom reached out to me, checked his phone numbers. She picked it up the following day. I reached out to him. The next day, they picked it up. So now I actually know who the person is that has the bike. Where, me and Hans that never really met you before, and I think it's awesome what you did. I hope I'll probably never meet in the future, but actually, I know Deegan personally, and so now I have it and somebody who actually I know. Like, this is actually gonna be reality. This bike's gonna come back to me. And I go to corn hucket Thursday, and Amy, Deegan's mom, said she'll be there Friday night, probably see him on Saturday. Deegan shows up. I was like, yo, where's this bike at? He's got it. And I knew I'd have some kind of feelings seeing this bike back. It's hard to explain. Like, I'm not a very emotional person, but just seeing it is just, like, I just never thought this bike would ever come back to me. I guess a little, it's just a bike, but a little background on this bike here. This is the bike I had my worst head injury on. I was riding a show back in 2017. Hit my head really hard. A lot of you probably know about this one here. I think it was classified as a traumatic brain injury. I don't remember hardly any of it. I've been so I don't know. My memory of the timeline of how this happened is really blurry. I think from the head injury happened, about 4 or 5 days later, I become more coherent of what's going on, best of my knowledge. And then I slowly started getting back into bike riding about a month later on. I learned all my tricks back on this bike here. First backflip back on the bike. Everything, I went from hell and back on this bike, is what I was trying to say earlier. I got backed up to where I was as a good rider for the most part. And I just went through a lot on this bike. It had some negative attachments to it, but I think it's mostly positive. The last show I did at I think it's Valley Fair. I don't know. It's all the sports in Shakopee, Minnesota. This thing means a lot to me. And it's back. I rode it 2 laps around the pump track at nowhere. These bikes just feel so tiny to me. I've ridden 29ers, mountain bikes. I got a full suspension 29er now. I ride a dirt jumper. I got 26-inch wheels on it. The bike below it's my 22-inch BMX Lucky Charm by Nowhere BMX. The 22 feels pretty good. I rode the 22 on Friday, rode the 20-inch on Saturday, and it just still felt tiny, and this is not what I want to ride anymore. But, geez, I did a lot. I don't know. I can't put in words how much this means to me. It's pretty cool seeing it. It's got some one-of-a-kind parts on it, too. Cody Dixon made the bar end guy. It's his first batch of blue anodized bar ends that are on there. It's got one of the first editions of the Nowhere sprocket. And I'm so happy this thing's back. It's not often that something like this happens ever. Your bike gets stolen, it's rare you get it back. But post on a Facebook chat group. Look at pawn shops. But also avoid it from being stolen in the first place. Carry a bike lock. Put it somewhere you can see it. Keep eyes on your bike at all times. These things are valuable. A lot of us just bring it into the store. I'm never going to let this thing out of my sight again. It's going to be up here hanging up, collecting dust, but I might ride it again at a skate park. But again, these bikes just don't fit me anymore, and I just can't get back into it. But I sure do love having this thing back. So I don't know what else to say. It's a crazy story. Took a 5-year journey. I don't know where this bike has been, where it went, what happened to it, but every part on it is matched to a T. All this, no spray paint, tires the same, grips the same, and everything. There's nothing changed to the bike. It took me 5 minutes to dial the brakes in, put some air in the tires. It was good to go, and I can't believe this thing's back. So again, thank you, Hans, so much for reaching out to me on Facebook. I can't put that into words how much this means. Again, I'm not going to use it too much. Maybe I'll go to somebody I know down the road, but for now, this is my trophy, and it's been through. It's even more meaningful to me than having this bike come back after 5 years. I can't let this thing go right now, and I don't know if I will. But yeah, thank you, Deegan. Thank you, Deegan's mom, Amy. Appreciate you guys bringing it a corn nugget. Thank you, Carl, for having the corn nugget. If that event wasn't as big as what it was, I don't know if Deegan and his mom would drive the long drive to probably, I don't know, it's like 7 hours drive to Nebraska. And yeah. Anyways, I wish you guys all the best of luck. Hopefully you find your bike in the future. And I don't know, take care. If you guys enjoy it, have a good day, and catch you guys later.